Okay, is it safe to assume at this point that from PS2 onwards, we can agree that every even-numbered PlayStation means good generation for them, every odd-numbered PlayStation equals bad generation for them? Is that a pattern we can kind of establish? You know, PS1 did good, PS2 came along, that did excellent, PS3 came along, it was PS4 came along, it did fairly good, PS5 is here, and you know. So yeah, Sony unveiled the PS5 Pro. Technically, they did it a day too early because the poor intern who was probably in charge of their social media management probably didn't know the difference between an unlisted video and a private one, and I'm sure their ass is getting lit up right around now. They revealed it early Tuesday morning, around like 8 or so. I don't remember. I was asleep at the time. I just heard it was really, really early. The presentation was about 9-ish minutes and some change. Probably would have been longer if they had any actual games to show off. There's your obligatory PS5 has no games joke. Okay, yeah, before you come at me in the comments, yes, I know y'all got Astrobot, y'all got Stellar Blade, you have some games. Not many though. And definitely not nearly enough to justify a fucking $700 starting price for the thing. Holy shit. It's early PS3 era all over again. And actually, I really shouldn't consider this to be $700 because... oh my god. The disk drive is sold separately. $700 is basically the diskless model. So if you already own a PS5 and you want the Pro, but you have physical games, you basically have to get the disk drive. And that's going to be an extra $80. So you add all of that up, plus the tax. But yeah, you add up the console, the disk drive, and then the tax. You're looking at damn near $900 for the thing. Like, bro, that's a lot of money. For a console, that's a lot of money. Oh, I almost forgot, it doesn't have the vertical stand either. You gotta buy that separately. Even though I think a vertical stand did come with the original one, but they're not including one with the Pro. And if you want one, it's gonna be an extra $30. Like, what are y'all smoking? It must be some military grade shit, cause who is this for? I mean, I'm sure people are gonna buy it. People who are going to review the console are obviously going to get it. People who maybe want better performance but absolutely can't stand, you know, gaming on a PC, yeah, they're probably going to get it. But even then, like within the sort of console-only crowd, I've already heard like a lot of people being like, listen, I'm no fan of PC gaming, but shit, man, this thing's too expensive. I'll stick it out with my OG PS4. Oh, shit. I said PS4. PS5. You know what I meant. And shit, let's just address the elephant in the room. This price point is damn near gaming PC territory. Albeit kind of a mid one, but still. Usually once a console kind of passes like the $500 mark, you know, people start to be like, wait a minute, how much did that PC cost again? And like, it's still really expensive, don't get me wrong. Like, I just finished doing the math for like a comparable PC build, assuming you have like nothing, so you also have to get a case and your mouse and your keyboard, oh, and the monitor, I forgot about that too. And it did come out at around like roughly $1,400, possibly $1,500. So it is expensive, I'm not gonna deny that at all. Though I did price them in their absolute worst case scenario, so in a situation where you weren't willing to buy some of these parts used, or you couldn't find any deals on them, which those do tend to happen a lot, or you can find them used for, you know, quite a bit cheaper than their, you know, new price. Anyway, I guess I'm just rambling. People who like consoles really like consoles, and they're gonna stick with that, and that's fine. And people who like PCs usually really like PCs and they don't really go back. So, you know, there's that. People are gonna play on what makes them the most comfortable, and you know what? I guess we all play games to have fun, so it's like, at the end of the day, it is what it is. But fuck, man, $800 for a console. Because you have to realize too, part of the selling point of a console is also affordability. And I know technically that doesn't completely apply here because this is the PS5 Pro. You know, you can still go and get the base PS5 if you just want to have a PS5 to play PS5 games. But it's like, if this is geared towards like hardware enthusiasts, there's only but so much money you can ask them to dump before they realize, you know what, this isn't too far off from a PC, maybe I should just get that instead. You get what I mean? Like, you gotta be careful, you might end up pricing someone right off of your platform. Anyway, that's the extent on what I wanted to say generally about PS5 Pro. What I have here are a few screenshots, because of course Twitter is having a normal one over this. And keep in mind, these are their takes I'm criticizing, not the people themselves. I'm just gonna read them. Also because I'm lazy and I don't feel like editing them in after the fact. So, yeah, you'll have to take my word for it. Alright, first one. iPhones are being announced for over 1,400 euros and nobody blinks an eye. Same for 2,000 euro graphics cards. Honestly, why are we being so weird with luxury console prices? You know, the thing we use as a main source of entertainment for about 6 to 7 years. Never understood. Well, two things can be bad at once. The fact that well, he said iPhones, but smartphones in general, the fact that they're so expensive does suck too. And I do give smartphone companies plenty of shit for doing that too, because what the fuck, phones should not be costing frickin' $1,000+. Hell no. But this mentality is kind of why they managed to get away with doing that too, because people kind of just let them. And you're asking that people kind of do the same thing with consoles as well. Like, just because they succeeded with one piece of technology in that type of pricing doesn't mean that we need to just let them get away with it with another one too. You get what I'm saying? On the topic of the 2,000 euro graphics card, that is also actually a take that I commonly see while scrolling Twitter. Oh, but this GPU is frickin' 2,000 euros or $1,500 or, you know, convert it to whatever your currency is wherever you live. You are literally using one of the most powerful GPUs on the market right now as your point of reference, because the 4090, which is usually the card that they're referring to when they say that, those aren't even really meant for gaming. Those are more so workstation cards. Not that you can't use them for gaming, they'll still run games phenomenally, but that's not what they're meant for. Their performance is only going to be marginally better than the GPU directly below them. The extra stuff you're paying for is not gaming stuff, it's workstation stuff. 3D rendering, be it for movies or other games, you know, it's used for both. CAD work, engineering purposes, AI research, and shit like that. That's why it costs so much. In terms of performance, like, it's not gonna do that much better than the 4080. And then as far as his last comment, he said main source of entertainment for about 6 or 7 years. Yeah, and the thing with consoles is, after those 6 or 7 years, you have to go get the newest one if you want to keep up. Because there's not really a guarantee. I know PS5 and Xbox Series X, they did make those backwards compatible, but there is no guarantee that the new console they make will be backwards compatible and be able to play all your old shit. If they were smart, they would make that the standard, but it's still a bit, you know, up in the air. Sometimes they decide to do backwards compatibility, sometimes they don't. I do think that is actually a very underrated advantage with PC. I know the whole, oh, there is no PC2 is kind of a meme, but it is true. You don't have to get a completely new PC when the next generation rolls around. You can keep your old hardware. If you're willing to lower settings for newer games, you're allowed to do that. You are not forced to get the newest hardware. You are given the option to make things work with your older stuff. Moving on to the next one. Jeff Keighley, I think he's popular enough that I don't really have to omit his name. I don't think it's really going to matter too much if I say that Jeff Keighley tweeted this. He posted a list of the inflation-adjusted prices for the mainline PlayStation console since launch. PS1, $611. PS2, $546. PS3, $778. PS4, $538. PS4 Pro, $522. PS5, $606. PS5 Pro, $699. And my response to this is, and all of those consoles, save for the PS4 Pro, are the original consoles and not mid-gen refreshes. The only mid-gen refresh we would get back in the day would be the slim versions, which, you know, entailed the console depreciating in value and getting a lower price over time. Even the PS4 Pro, when the Pro came out, it took on the price of the original PS4 at $400, and then the regular PS4 got like a $100 price cut. I think it became like $300. Maybe $250 if you could get one on Black Friday, if I remember correctly. And secondly, all of those other consoles had a fucking disk drive that wasn't sold separately for $80. I find it very interesting how he conveniently left out the diskless PS5 on that list. And then our last one, and then I'll wrap things up. No one's forcing you to buy one. Thankfully, that's true. It's still bullshit, and I still think you should be free to call it out accordingly. Anyway, that's all I gotta say about this topic. You know the drill. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Sub to the channel if you haven't already. Special thanks to all channel members for your continued support. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all again very soon.